Welcome to the Delmarva Almanac. Each week we connect you to the best of Delmarva. Like other almanacs, our aim is to tell you a little bit about our past, our present, and events in the near future. I'm your host, Dana Kester-McCabe. This week we'll meet Joyce Zeigler, a very prolific painter who was born and raised on a farm that is now part of Tuckahoe State Park near Denton, Maryland. Joyce works primarily in oil, and her subject matter is the landscapes, flowers, and wildlife that she sees at home and on her travels. While she did not attend an art school, she had many teachers, beginning with a local artist who held classes in her Denton garage.
She was the type of teacher that made you feel like you could do anything. So I tried it, and before that I think I used to sew and do domestic things like that, but painting really has been my passion.
Most of Joyce's training has come from workshops. She and her husband owned a bed and breakfast and enjoyed meeting new people. It got to be a habit that she would invite instructors to stay with her who were visiting the Academy of Art in Easton, where she took classes. They became friends and would exchange works of art. But that's not all.
Over breakfast we talked art. Sitting in the living room later we talked art. Driving to the site to paint plein air. It was the same thing. And these folks have become good friends through the years. Some have returned and just painted. And I'm talking about from all over the country.
Joyce is in her early 80s. She has Parkinsons disease, but finds that though it has slowed her down a little, the only other significant effect it has had is that she avoids compositions with a lot of straight lines. Joyce says painting and teaching help her to remain optimistic. That is a word that Joyce also uses to describe her painting style. Others might say her work is impressionistic. Art and community are intertwined for Joyce.
I belong to a group called Traveling Brushes that have been together for 34 years, of 6 women. We've traveled all over the country and painted. We're paint sisters, but with this group you got an honest critique. And it meant so much to me because I was the only one that had had no formal education in art. The rest talked about Maryland Institute or University of Pennsylvania, Drexel or something. And I just stayed quiet.
Joyce began to get requests for lessons. Since she had plenty of room in her studio, she started teaching classes there.
I have found that most people that really are interested in art can paint. They may not paint exactly like they want to. None of us do. But every now and then there's that magic moment when you do no wrong. I was asked at the Oxford, Maryland Fine Arts Show to do a 1-hour demo. And usually 1 hour isn't very long. I think it was a 16 by 20 canvas. And I brought a friend's sheep photograph with me. And every time I touched the painting, it was right. And after, in about a half an hour, one of my friends walked by and said, "You better stop, that is wonderful." So when I stood back, I was pleased. Then 2 ladies walked by and one said, "Oh, look at that sheep. It looks just like my mother's pet named Lucille." And I thought, aha, that's Lucille. And I put her in a show in Wilmington, and it got first place, won a nice cash prize, sold it and everything else in the show because of that. But that's very, very, very unusual.
Having grown up on a farm, Joyce is often inspired to paint farms and farm animals. She loves to paint flowers. She says her color palette is limited to white and 6 other colors: lemon yellow, yellow deep, cadmium red light, alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, and ultramarine.
You can get any color you want, from 2 yellows, 2 blues, 2 reds, and white. And your painting has a lot more harmony. But when I say 2 yellows, one is cool and one is warm. Prussian blue and alizarin and a little bit of yellow makes a nice warm black.
Joyce says that it is also very helpful to put your paint colors on your palette in the same order every time.
One of the trips with the traveling brushes was to Prout's Neck, and we went out on the beach after dark, but it was moonlight, and it was amazing because you knew what color was where, how well they turned out without the regular light. That was a good thing to do. I love to travel. I think my brochure says I travel to paint and I paint to travel, which is true. But I have a portable outfit that only weighs 8 pounds. And there's panels that I would get that had foam in it and made it real lightweight. And I'd get my suitcase full of what was needed. And if there was room, I'd take clothes.
To see a video of this interview and see some of Joyce's work, visit our website, delmarvaalmanac.com/arts, or visit Joyce's website, zeiglerfineart.com. Well, that's all for this edition of the Delmarva Almanac. We'd like to thank our community partners, the Friends of Delmarva Public Radio, the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore, and underwriters eatdrinkbuyart.com for their help in bringing this program to you, our audience. Our theme music was provided by Brightside Studio. This show has been a Moonshell production. Thanks for listening. Until we meet again, may the rhythms and tides of Delmarva bring you good fortune.